Neonic Void Productions presents.
Hello, and welcome back to Spookocalypse. I am one of your hosts, Matt Chairman, and I am joined by other people. Would you like to introduce yourselves? Start from the top down.
I'm Bunyip.
Hi, I'm the Hi Bunya. Hi, I'm Zio, and in the void, the Geneva Convention are just Geneva suggestions.
Don't shirk your responsibilities.
Wait, what?
What?
What did you
I said, don't shirk your responsibilities.
Uh,
And just introduce yourself.
Hi.
Damn, hi, I'm Zio. Shit.
Hi, I'm the housekeeper.
Hi, housekeeper.
I have been sober
Keeper.
now for 24 hours. No, it's like
Oh gosh. Crazy. You know what else is crazy? The movie we just watched.
Oh,
You know
hi,
what
welcome to Spookocalypse. You never
know-
said the podcast name.
yes, he
I
did.
said,
You did? Did
you
I?
weren't listening.
Was I not
She said
here?
it.
I
That was
wasn't
the
here.
very first thing I said.
I was too busy thinking about war crimes. I'm so
Shut up.
sorry.
You let me handle this.
I hate it here.
Chaos, absolute chaos, like the movie Evil Dead Rise.
Wait, housekeeping.
No. Okay, yeah, we should do that.
No.
Okay. if you like this, God damn it. If you like this podcast, make sure you follow and rate us on whatever site you listen to your podcast. Share with your friends. New episodes get uploaded every Saturday. Links are down in the description for other podcasts that are part of the Neonic family. Follow us on fuck. It's not Twitter anymore. I don't know what the fuck it's called anymore. X? Fucking weird. Our handle
I
is
just
at
refer to
I'm
it
just-
as like the social platform formerly known as Twitter.
I'm just gonna you know what? From today on forward, I don't give a fuck what it's called. I'm gonna continue to call it Twitter. Y'all have a problem with that? You can talk to us on our handle, which is at Spookocalypse. That's at SPOOKOCALYPSE. We are also on YouTube. If you are here from YouTube, hi, hello, welcome. Make sure you drop a like and share, subscribe. You know, punch that bell in the face so you can get the notifications. You know, let us know what movies or whatever spooky shit you want us to review next. Speaking of spooky shit that we do here, we're going to be going on to that discussion.
And instead of a mint, it's a nice little note on your pillow that says what? Bunyip?
I think it was Matt Chairman's idea.
Oh, is that something?
Oh yeah, the nice little quote. I'm pretty sure it was Sun Tzu or someone said it, like that not all camp was created equal.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
right.
And this movie was camp in a very violent, sadistic kind of way.
It
Very
was such a
demented.
good movie, though.
Huh?
Such a good movie, though.
Oh, it is. This is the style of camp that I aspire to be someday. I'm not quite there yet. I'm still seeping through the trash of camp, but I'm gonna
So-
get there one of these days.
So worth that free ticket.
Oh, it was so worth the free showing.
So worth the free showing.
Yo, you
That's
got to see it for
so
free.
good. Yes,
They-
because
they-
my lovely boyfriend found out about a free screening at a local theater near us, and he's like, "Oh my god, did you let people know?" And I'm like, "Bitch, bet." And I let everybody in our friend group know, and then we saw it literally that day.
Mhm.
No, oh sorry, a week later. We saw it a week later. It was great.
And
It's
and
great.
we were like so ready to just like throw hands to make sure.
I'm still
That-
mad those motherfucker and heifers
that
took the
deal.
posters.
Oh
I
my
know.
gosh.
No, we were ready to throw hands because like Zio showed up pretty late, and we are like, no, we want Zio to sit with us. And this like nice goth lady and her friend was like, you know what? I'll vouch and say that like he went to the bathroom whenever they were counting, and we were just like, thank you.
I
It's
was
so
so
great.
upset. I was so upset.
But then, like we were able to save a spot anyways.
Yeah, it's great.
Jeez.
So
It's
he was
great.
able to come in and sit down with us.
It was great. It was great.
Ah,
But no,
Yeah,
but those
fuck
people
those
that
guys
took
for
the
fucking taking like 10 posters at a time.
yeah,
Fuck
I will
that.
fight those hoes. If you're one of those people that was at that theater at that one day, at that one
Your
time
mom's
watching this
a
movie,
hoe.
your
Your
mom's a
mom's
heifer.
hoe.
Your mom's a heifer and a hoe.
Just
And I
like
hope she
my
breaks
God.
your back.
Okay, yes. And that movie is Evil Dead Rise, the 5th installment of the Evil Dead franchise.
Now, with the Evil Dead, I had this whole month planned, y'all. We were going to go through the ages of the Evil Dead, going from the first one to this one. But you know who fucked it up? You know who fucked it up? Mr. Max. I was mad about it. I had this whole month planned.
my
I was going to go
God.
through all the films, and I was going to have guests. One particular guest who's a big fanatic of it. And I was going to teach you guys rich, thorough lore of the Evil Dead. But nah, that got fucked up. So now we're just doing Evil Dead Rise and then doing other stuff for the month of September. And I'm still bitter about it. Because I wanted to roast Army of Darkness, how shitty and trashy that movie is. One day
Yeah.
we'll do that. One day.
One day.
Anyway, so yes,
Not
we're
today.
doing Evil Dead Rise.
Directed by and written by Lee Cronin.
Cronin, you're amazing and a mastermind. And I hope we make more movies.
Starring Lily Sullivan. I knew her from Vikings, Queen Auslug.
Lily, you're amazing. Icon legend.
I loved her in this movie because I hate her
So
in Vikings.
good.
And then Alyssa Sutherland and Morgan Davies, Gabriel Echoes, and Nell Fisher.
And
So-
of course, the movie was done by New Line Cinema, Renaissance Pictures, Pacific Renaissance, Wild Atlantic Pictures. It was distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures. And it was released to South by Southwest March 15th, 2023. And let me tell you, when this movie's dropped at that festival, the buzz about this movie was automatic. It was like instant. People were raving about how good this movie was. And this movie was originally supposed to be a streaming movie. Thank God they didn't put it on just a streaming movie.
Yeah.
Because it made so much money.
It's only 97 minutes. Yeah, it was a pretty short movie.
And its budget of 15 to 19 million, and it made back 146.7 million. So you could say this movie was a box office success to the highest bidder for a horror film. It was so good. And critically acclaimed pretty much too.
Yep.
It's great. It's great.
Okay, so we've talked about all of the details.
Yes.
Now we can get into the story. We begin, as we do with most Evil Dead movies, at a cabin. Cabin by the lake. Oh, wait, no, the first one didn't happen by a lake, right?
No, it was a cabin in the
It
woods.
was just a cabin in the woods, okay. Which
Great
was
movie.
also our favorite movie. Yeah.
Such a good movie.
We stand that movie, and this is
in
this
this
podcast.
house.
Yep, in this house. Anyways, this was a lakeside cabin, where basically a younger girl, what was her name? Jessica. Oh no, Teresa. Was kind of hanging out by the on the pier, and I guess her sister's boyfriend comes out, and he's flying. You first off get like a shot of a aerial drone, or you don't see it's an aerial drone, but it's like zooming towards the girl. It's an aerial drone that's about to hit her in the face. It's the her sister's boyfriend who's kind of being a dick.
Weren't they
And,
cousins?
Is it her cousin?
I thought they were cousins. Were they cousins?
Oh, cousin Teresa.
There was some relation. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, it says cousins in the thing, but I thought I could have swore that they were sisters.
There's some form of relation. They're family.
Yeah. This girl Teresa is dragged out by Jessica, who I guess Jessica is what did he say? Oh yeah, he said that he gave her some Xanax or something, or like to help her sleep and bring her down off of whatever she was on.
Yeah, she wasn't doing so hot.
Yeah, she was. Yeah. So Teresa goes in and they kind of foreshadow the fact she's like, oh, you're gonna end up cutting my face or cutting my head off with the blades on that thing. He's like, no, I'm not. The worst I'm gonna do is cut up your face. So yeah, so she goes inside because he's being a dick, and she goes in and sees Jessica kind of sitting upright on the bed, right? At first, or is she laying down at first?
She's laying down at first.
Laying down at first, okay. Kind of, but turned away, like you haven't seen her face yet. Like they haven't shown her face, and she kind of goes and she's mad at Jessica for kind of passing out and leaving her boyfriend there. So she sits down in a chair next to the bed and she starts reading a book. But they start zooming in on the book so that you can't see behind it, and you kind of hear things moving, like the bed creaking and stuff. And I guess when they look back up, she is sitting up.
Mm-hmm.
And they play out the kind of thriller portion of this movie, or they kind of like, what's wrong, Jessica? And you okay? And what is she? She doesn't turn her head, right? I don't remember the beginning part that well.
She like falls over. She tries to get up, but she like hits the ground hard.
Okay, and then she when she goes to kind of check on her, she like slinks around the bed really quick and.
She's laying on the ground, and Teresa kind of leans over and like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" And she doesn't like she's breathing, and she looks away, and Jessica wakes up, and
yeah, it's not said in this plot recap I'm looking at, so I don't remember really what happened.
And, well, basically,
what she said.
I think she's like checking for a heartbeat, pulse, air, or something. Yep. And she gets real close to her, and then she ends up grabbing basically grabbing a top of her hair and rubs off her scalp. And I'm like, in my notes, I put wig snatched.
Wig snatched. That's terrible.
Literally, wig snatched.
Dumb, dude.
I wrote that in big letters.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
It was so good.
Yeah, so her wig got snatched, I guess. Fuck it. And
snatched.
So they kind of go back. There's a shot going like somebody is approaching Caleb from behind, and he turns around, and it turns out it's Teresa. She's still alive. She just has the top of her head removed, the top of her scalp removed. Because the skull's still there, and it's very very visceral. They're very well done effects, practical effects, I think. With this part, which you have to go with. You always have to go with practical when you can, because that's just
of course gold. It just makes it better.
And so they get Jessica ends up getting the grabbing the drone, right? Or is it Teresa that grabs it?
It's Jessica.
Okay, Jessica. Yeah, Jessica grabs the drone and basically chops off Caleb's head.
Well, no.
Right?
So what happened with that is I think she ends up hitting herself in the face with it, and she falls into the water. And then Caleb jumps in after his girlfriend, and Teresa comes up, just like, and then his head is thrown out of the water.
Okay, she's in the water. Okay.
And then she had the Jesus moment, and she floats over out of the water, and that's where you get the whole iconic title screen, Evil Dead Rise. It's so good.
Keep posing. Yeah. So
you're
they
having a Jesus moment.
Yeah. They go to one day earlier. They say one day earlier, and I guess before the cabin, they're actually showing some of the main characters. Beth, essentially Beth, who is in the bathroom taking a pregnancy test, and I guess she's also the I guess a guitar technician for her band, I wasn't sure if it was the band or the
I think it's for
venue.
the band that she was
Okay.
working for.
Yeah. Um, and they also kind of flip to her sister Ellie, who is a tattoo artist. And she's like, I guess, drawing up some designs and whatever. And while her children are kind of hanging out in her home, Danny, Bridget, and Casey. They live in, what is it? Amond Apartments? I don't know what that is, if that's just the name of the apartments. In their home at Mond Apartments. I don't know, really run down shitty apartments that.
Oh yeah, and they asked the name of the apartments.
Okay, I don't know if that's significant or not. I don't know why they. Okay.
And it's very similar to like an LA style like complex.
Okay. Yeah, so they don't say specifically where they're at ever, but
You can kind of get an idea, kind of sort of.
yeah. There's other kind of kids there in the apartment complex that kind of Hispanic, so you would assume like a bigger city like LA or San Diego, San Antonio, any of the southern states kind of you would think. Anyways, doesn't matter. This probably California though with what happens next. Because as stuff is going down at the apartment, who's getting flirted with by the kids? Like through the door, they kind of foreshadow that to the peephole.
It was two of the neighbors.
Bridget?
They were he was flirting with Bridget.
These two like fucking. Well, they're like one was like a teenage boy with fucking Cheeto powder around his mouth.
Yeah.
And then like his little brother, I guess.
Yeah, he was probably like 15, 16. And his brother was probably like, I don't know, 11 or 12.
Something like that.
So kind of just I think they also set up the fact that their father is not in the picture.
Yes,
during this point.
Yeah, he vacated the premises.
They haven't said why, just that he's not in the picture.
Because he's a trash person.
Yeah.
Yeah, twat.
So it's at this point when Beth kind of realizes that I guess she finally gets her pregnancy test back, that it's positive. And she looks like she's not happy about it. So I guess she shows up at her sister's place. She shows up there before the earthquake, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
She shows up as Ellie is dyeing her hair, re-dyeing her hair red.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm looking up a different synopsis because this is awful. I'm having to go off just memory, and I don't remember it shot for shot. So, or how shit went down. Where is?
But as you go looking, basically, Beth goes to Ellie, and they have I cannot remember if
argument about what were they arguing about? Oh, the fact that she didn't answer her phone because while Beth is out on tour with her band, she doesn't really answer her phone because she's kind of partying, doing
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she also does drugs. They alluded to that fact. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Wasn't
but-
Beth there to stay with them for a minute?
Yeah, she said she
Yeah.
wants to be able to stay there with her, and she says, what's her name? Ellie says that she can't, or she can stay there the night, but they're packing up to leave because they're getting kicked out of their apartment because it's
Yeah, the
basically
building
getting
is.
condemned.
Yeah, the building's getting condemned or whatever.
Yeah.
For good reason.
Yeah, it's not the great build, not as greatest building. So, but she is mad at her because when Ellie was going through her when she found out her husband was cheating on her, she went and called Beth, but Beth never picked up the phone or called her back after she left a message. So, and then the same thing whenever she called her and he left for good, or she signed the divorce papers.
Yeah.
She tried calling Beth again, and again she left a message, didn't get any call back. So she's pissed off at her for that.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, definitely. So while they're having this argument, then earthquake happens. They sent the kids out for pizza while they're having this argument. I guess she knew this was gonna go down, so she sent the kids out to go get pizza for dinner. And as the kids are coming back, they're coming through the parking garage, and an earthquake happens. So the earth kind of opens up as they're trying to run away from it, and a hole kind of forms between them and the elevator. In which they kind of, once everything settles, they are all okay. They check down the hole and they look, and they had talked about before they had talked about the fact that the apartment was haunted because there used to be a bank there, that there was a bank heist that went wrong, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, there was a bank underneath it.
And then somebody got killed, and then they check for change or whatever. I don't remember that story, but I'm just kind of. Anyways, there's a bank vault underneath the apartment in the parking lot. Danny ends up being the one that wants to go down there, and Danny finds some religious artifacts and
Uh-huh.
Call it
records.
that.
Yeah, religious
Hmm.
artifacts meaning a book, right?
And the Jesus statue that fell over, I literally went, Jesus Christ. Just as it was like a jump scare.
Oh God.
Who else yelled out Jesus Christ as Jesus?
Me.
Well,
I did.
and all of us were like,
Christ.
all of us were like, ah, Jesus.
The statue just turns and looks at you like, that's right. Like a cartoon.
See,
God.
that joke is the camp vibe of this movie.
Yeah.
But they do find a book that is oddly
Leathery.
I was gonna say the Book of Monsters from Harry Potter, but with more
Right?
teeth.
Yeah.
Right. With teeth.
With teeth.
And not the good kind of teeth.
What? Good talk. What? Okay, I'm not gonna go into that.
Kind of teeth.
We're just
They're
gonna let it go. We're
Is
letting
it
go. We're
good
just moving on.
teeth?
We're moving on. So, this book is revealed to be one of the one of the 3 volumes of the Naturam Demento. That's
What?
That's what it's. Oh, why is it? I don't know. Necronomicon. I don't. This the wiki. We're gonna cut this part out. The Wikipedia sucks for this because I don't know why it's named that.
It's one of the 3 volumes of the. Oh
Necronomicon.
yeah, it's another name for the Necronomicon. 'Cause that's what they do call it. The Netrum
Demonto.
Demodo, aka the Necronomicon.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, as Danny's going through, Danny's also a DJ, so they have turntable to be able to play these records. I have to mess with it a bit, but they're able to figure it out and get the audio to play through where there's a priest from 1920.
Who's
Yeah.
also played by
No way.
Bruce Campbell.
Oh, I should have known.
Bruce Campbell's is father Marcus Littleton.
Oh my god, how did I not pick that up?
And apparently, canon-wise, Bruce Campbell has said on record that Father Marcus Littleton is a time-displaced Ash. Apparently.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's weird. It's fucking weird.
I'm tired.
Tired. Yeah, he's a time-displaced
I'm so
Ash.
fucking tired.
Oh, this series is great.
It is, but fuck Army of Darkness, y'all.
Industrial record. So basically the priest is he's reading the book and getting it translated. And
he talks about little lore lessons as we're not doing the whole month of Evil Dead. He talks about how there are 3 volumes of these books. And that goes across the whole series. There are 3 volumes of the Necronomicon, 3 different books. The first book you see in the original Dead series with Bruce Campbell's Ash. The next one, the second book, you see in the 2013 reboot. And then the third book is the current one they have right now. Because if you look, all 3 books look different.
Yeah.
And this is the 3 books they mentioned also in the Army of Darkness. When he went back in time, he talked about the 3 books as well. Continue.
So as the priest is reading the, book out loud, I guess it's calling forth what is there a specific term? Huh?
Deadites.
Deadite?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I mean, that's what they are that possesses people.
Yeah. So Ellie is happens to be taking laundry down, even though she literally just told the kids, when the earthquake happened, they came back up the elevator, and she got mad at him she said, "You never take an elevator after an earthquake." She literally went and took the elevator down after the earthquake. That's where she gets caught by the Deadite. Because then they do the whole wire tree vine thing.
Yeah.
Except it's with an elevator wires.
Yeah, that makes it, in my opinion, makes that worse a little bit.
Yeah. I don't think they definitely didn't go as graphic with it, but it's still there. It's still a reference to it. So if you've watched it before, you know. So Ellie is possessed during this, and she goes back upstairs, and does she immediately go and start cooking eggs, or she's trying to go to sleep first?
No, she goes immediately into the house, and they're like, "Mom," and then she just makes a quick, sharp right turn into the kitchen.
Yeah,
and then they go into the kitchen. I have the line in front of me. I want to read it.
Go ahead.
I do.
Beth, huh?
Oh,
I gotta point out one thing. Why do they have a basket of eggs outside of the fridge?
Because eggs are not supposed to, well, technically speaking, if they're not, eggs shouldn't have.
Oh.
But of course, in the United States, they do. But if you go outside the States, people don't refrigerate them. It's weird.
You got
I
cut
know.
out for half of that, like the first half of your explanation of
Yeah.
eggs.
Actually,
so-
cultural difference. I didn't know this.
Well, it's not just cultural difference, but because of how eggs are produced
Process. Yeah.
yeah, the way that they're produced for mass market, it does make it unsafe for eggs to be out on the counter. Now, if you like if you have like pasture like free roam
Chickens.
like chickens and stuff like that, the way that you feed them as well, like the eggs don't have to be refrigerated.
Mm.
Yeah.
But they have to be like the brown eggs
Yeah.
that because the way that because if you get white eggs, what they do is they bleach those eggs and that messes up with the exterior of the eggs, which makes them more porous and more likely to spoil quicker.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's a U.S. thing or a Western world thing. Well, I don't even think it's really a Western world. I think it's just U.S. Maybe Canada, but like it's the way we process the eggs, and that's why like outside the states you'll see. That's why I'm like they don't really say where this movie takes place because the movie is shot in New Zealand. So seeing the eggs like out of the fridge, you're just kind of like a person that wouldn't know. It's just like what? That's weird. But yeah, she's out there cooking eggs, starting up a gas stove with the power's out because the power went out because of the elevator scene that she was dealing with. And then she just slams a skillet. Boom.
Well, with the gas stove, you don't need power to light
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
so.
Why not? She just slams the skillet on there and just starts slamming eggs. And Beth walks in with with all the kids. And she's like, so what's up, sis? And Ellie is like, and the editing was so great because you see the shot of them in the doorway, and then you see the shot of like Ellie's face angled, and she's like staring off into the distance, and she's like, I had the most beautiful dream where we were together sitting in a tall forest. The wind was clean, the birds were singing the sweetest melodies. It was a perfect day. And all I could think about was how much I wanted to cut you all open and climb inside your bodies so that we could stay one happy family.
Oh my god. Wow. Okay, I know why you wanted to read that entire. Okay.
And I'm just like, I'm like, come. I would have been like, if I was one of the kids, I'm like, come again. What? You want to repeat that, Mom? What? You want to what? No.
The writing in this is so great. Oh my god.
It's when the camp starts coming in. Oh. Mm.
So, yes, so she's cooking eggs, and she says this line, and what does she do? She grabs a knife, right? Or is that not until later?
She starts slamming eggs at this point, and the eggs start becoming rotted. Because I'm assuming when she's touching them, they start getting bloodied. There's like blood inside of them and shit. And I'm just like, oh, gross. And then she gets a spatula, and she's like, and then she turns around holding the skillet of eggs, and she looks to Beth, and she's like, it's in me. Don't let it take my babies. And then she drops the skillet and falls to the ground. And she has I think she has like a seizure.
Yeah. Yeah, she spits up oh god, yeah, that disgusting amount of
She projectile vomits some clear fucking liquid thing all over the floor and shit.
Yeah, that was sick.
And not in a good way.
Yeah. I'm thinking it was essentially her insides liquefied, just
that's
out.
what I was thinking too, yeah.
Yum.
Smoothie.
Nummy nummy.
Nom 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 nom.
She's making room for later.
Ew.
Ah. You're the one that read the
crunch,
line.
Crunch.
Okay. So, they basically, try to take her out. They're trying to get her out of the apartment, and they go to the elevator, and obviously the elevator's still fucked up. And they go to the stairs, and then they realize the stairs are no longer there. I suppose as a result of the earthquake, they basically have to jump like 3 or 4 stories down
Yo,
if they wanted to try to use the stairs.
yo.
It would just go straight down to the, I guess, basement or the parking garage, whatever. Yeah, so that's obviously not an option. So the, apartment manager who, I don't know if we've said already, is kind of doesn't care. Like, obviously he let this place get to this point. They go to like a. How does it go down? The kids are in the hallway, right? All the the Hispanic kids are trying to like figure out a way to get out, and the manager brings up the fact that there's a fire escape, or is it the kids?
I think it's the manager.
I don't know who brings up the fire escape, but the manager's like, yeah, you'd have to go through the condemned apartment to get to the fire escape. But it's locked. It's with like padlock key, and they don't have the tools because all of the manager's tools are down in his truck on ground level. So they're basically trying to get this padlock off with a hammer, or with, I don't know what he's using, honestly. Working on that, and the guy's like, or the manager's like, I can just go get my shotgun and we can blow a hole in the door. And he's like, no, we have enough problems as it is. You trying to bring in a gun and blasting a hole in the door. So they're trying to work on the door while they kind of wrap up Ellie, and one of the kids wants to say a prayer. Oh, one of the neighbors wants to say a prayer for her.
Yeah.
And that doesn't go well. No, it's after the prayer, right? That she comes
After
back.
the prayer. Yeah.
Okay, they have the prayer, and Ellie wasn't religious, and Beth was not feeling it, but she kind of still went along with it because her sister's dead. So, she's basically sitting there talking to her body, and that's saying how she's like gonna take care of the kids, right? Or that.
Yes, how they were going to take care of the kids, and as they were talking about it, that's when Ellie wakes up and attacks the family, and then she wounds. I guess she attacks Beth and Bridget. So like Beth gets stabbed in the hand with a knife, and Bridget gets her tattoo gun and scratched on the face. Now note, earlier in the movie when Ellie was messing with the tattoo gun, she was using her own blood in the tattoo gun. So, and that's probably how what happens next to Bridget makes sense. But Beth gets stabbed in the hand, and Beth's like, ah! And then they kick the mother out of the apartment and lock her out with everyone that's outside.
Yeah.
And then somebody's eyeball gets ripped out. One of the kids' eyeballs gets ripped out, shoved down the throat. He spits it out into the other boy's throat. He chokes to death while the other little boy gets ripped to shreds.
Yeah.
And same with the old man. No, what's great is...
But if you notice what happens on the screen, though, is that the kids' deaths are never shown directly on screen.
Yeah.
Well, the 2 older ones are.
Yes, but not
The youngest one's not. You just see his body thrown into the corner, and he's like limbless or some shit.
He's missing an arm. Yeah.
He's missing an arm. What's great though is that she came back into the view and she's like, "Let me in," and she's saying some shit, and all of a sudden she flies to the side when the shotgun goes off. I'm like, "Damn, bitch!"
And you're watching this all through the people.
Screamed.
Yeah.
I was like, "Bitch, you better get wrecked, motherfucker, get wrecked." I was like, "She ain't coming back. Come back up from that. Come back from that, bitch." She did. She did.
Yeah,
But she got rickety wrecked for like a hot minute.
That's so funny.
That's so good. I laughed so hard.
Yeah, I know you did.
I was like, the old man died. Avi, he was cut. He was like ripped in half or some shit. His entrails were thrown out everywhere.
Like how?
Yeah.
They were throwing out like, blah, blah.
Sorry. 1 second. Okay. Okay, so Danny finally comes out while they're kind of trying to figure out what to do in the apartment, and comes clean to Beth about the book, and so while Beth is kind of listening to or is this not? She doesn't start listening now, does she?
Wait a minute. When was the bathtub scene? Was the bathtub scene before she woke up and killed the neighbors?
I don't remember.
Oh, right. Yes, because yeah.
Because I think that's when she. Or was it when she got through when she went through the vent and got back in, and then the bathtub scene?
No, that she doesn't go to the events until way later in the movie. That had to have happened before she died the first time. Like when she was having her seizure. Yeah. They said she had a fever, so they were gonna throw her into the cold water.
Right.
In the bathtub. I'm sorry.
So there was a scene before she died initially, quote unquote, and they put her in the bed. She was in the bathtub, and again, I have the lines in front of me.
Yeah. So they're trying to cool her down because she has a 100 and whatever fever, and so they throw her in the bathtub and go on.
And she's just like, that was the titty sucking parasites line, right?
I
think so.
She's she pops up from the bathtub because she like freaks out when she's put in the cold water, and she's like on the ceiling, like I don't know how she's holding herself up.
Yeah, she's looking over the tub at this point, and she's looking to her oldest daughter. She's like, "What's happened to me, sweetie?" And Bridget's like, "I don't know, Mom." And Ellie's like, "I do. I'm free now, free of all you titty sucking parasites." And I'm like, "Drag them, Mama, drag those titty sucking parasites."
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Yes, queen.
Yeah. So then she died, and then now we're caught.
Yeah, she screamed, fell into the water. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she heated up the water.
She was boiling.
Yeah.
I just couldn't let the titty sucking parasites line go without notice.
Yeah, I forgot about that scene. Yeah. The bathtub. Yeah, so when she's outside of the apartment, she's basically egging on who's the youngest
daughter. The youngest daughter is Cassie, yeah.
Trying to get her to open the door for her. She's like, oh, yeah, Daddy came back. We're getting back together, and yeah, we're gonna be together, big happy family, and she's like pretending to talk to him like often, because this entire time it's like all the killings and things is seen through the peephole, so peephole becomes kind of a big thing at this point. She's kind of talking to Daddy, quote unquote, off the side, where she can't see him, and so she finally is convinced to unlock the door at least. And not undo the chain. But that's enough for her. Because she's able to reach in and grab Cassie by the throat.
I'm like, your mother is showing heifer behavior. Do not let her in.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you do see Bridget kind of start to... She's in the kitchen, right? When it starts to happen?
She's in the kitchen trying to stop the bleeding of the wound. And then she looks through some reflective surface and she sees that the veins, black veins, are starting to spread.
The book, too. So that's something we're also missing out on. Before Ellie died, the book flipped to a page that kind of showed her how like she was gonna look when she died. And so when we get to Bridget's kind of thing happening in the kitchen. We are shown the book again, and it's shown like a woman like with a like tentacles coming out of her mouth, like kind of like an eldritch horror kind of looking tentacles. Yeah. So I guess like foreshadowing of what is gonna happen to Bridget. So yeah, you do see her veins kind of popping out and disgusting crab coming up her like throat, and it's the who does she go to first?
Who, Bridget?
Beth. Yeah.
She doesn't go to anybody. She starts barfing up bugs and shit, and then I think it's her. I think it's
couldn't watch
Danny.
that.
Then Danny walks in, and he sees that Bridget is hunched over on top of the counter, like monster style, like knees hunched over on her knees, and she turns around and she's eating glass. She's like, "I don't like creepy crawlies inside of me." Some shit like that. There's creepy crawlies inside me. I don't like that. And she's eating glass.
The wine glass, yeah.
And then when she swallows the glass, you can see the glass stretching out her throat. Ugh.
Cutting through her throat, yeah. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's fucking disgusting. It's not okay. It's not okay.
So that's when she starts to swing at Danny and Cassie with the wine glass shard. Right?
Yeah. Yes, and then he stabs. I think actually he's using a knife. Bridget's using a knife to attack Danny.
I thought it was okay.
No, it might be a glass. I think it was a glass shard at first, but I think she did.
Probably.
It was a glass shard initially, and then it was the knife.
Yeah. But she's about to like run at Cassie when Cassie puts up her stick, who earlier in the movie she made a doll. She had taken like one of her like little baby dolls and cut the head off like with scissors and put it on top of a broom.
It's what was the doll's name?
What the hell was the doll's name?
It was Staffanie. We stand Staffanie in this house. I am a stan of Staffanie.
So
I want to make a Staffanie.
When the kids were messing around, when her and I think it was Danny were like play fighting, they accidentally broke the bottom half of Staffanie broom in half. So it's
steak.
Like it's a super long sharp steak. So when when what's her name? Bridget coming at Cassie.
Was acting a fool.
Yeah. Cassie held up Staffanie, and
Staffanie took care of the problem. She saved the day. She took care of the problem. Well, she took care of the problem for that moment anyway.
Went right through the back of her.
Y'all just got staffed. Need. That's a terrible joke. I'm so sorry.
Oh my god.
Jail.
Staffanie saved the day. She's the hero. She's the real hero here.
He was the real hero. MVP.
MVP right through the back of the head, through the mouth.
And so obviously she's kind of distraught about this, and they kind of take her into her room. Oh no, I think she shares a room with Danny.
Yeah.
There's a bunk bed. There's a bed above that one, so I'm not sure if they share a room. Anyways, they're in one of the rooms, and meanwhile, what happens? Oh, Bridget got okay. No, sorry. No. Oh, Beth listens to the third record. Oh, the very last record. This is when she listens to it. So I guess when Danny was going through the records, they went through the first one, in order. So Beth decided to start from the very last one dated, And so that's when he kind of, the priest talks about not being able to get rid of the deadite, and the only way to get rid of it is to basically completely destroy the body, because it will continuously bring back the body if you leave it intact.
And that's when Beth's Ellie was crawling through the vents and came in, and she was crawling on the ceiling and shit as she's listening to it.
Yeah.
And that's when Danny was getting riggedy wrecked.
Oh yeah, because Danny got,
because his sister came back, Bridget came back to life and riggedy wrecked Danny. Danny got really fucked up. I think Danny's the one that got fucked up the most, honestly.
Stabbed in the arm and then in the chest.
Yeah, and then turned not too long after. Granted, this is all Danny's fault. This is Danny's fault. Danny
ain't no one deserved that though. Ain't no one deserved that though.
He's Danny is the real villain of the story. Okay? Because they couldn't just leave it the fuck alone. He's like the guy with glasses in the 2013 version. He's the real villain. He's the real villain in the 2013 version, and Danny's the real villain in this one.
Oh my god.
They couldn't just leave it alone. Anyway.
So yeah, Danny's dead now.
Danny did not deserve that, but I think Danny got the worst of it because Danny is the one that brought this upon them.
But she did get to set Bridget on fire with the kind of thing they had been foreshadowing to the.
Oh yeah, they did.
Spray right next to the gas fire.
Yes, yeah. Danny sure lit their sister on fire. Lit her like a Christmas tree.
So
crispy.
yeah, extra crispy. This is when kind of what is it? Oh yeah. Ellie realizes that Beth, she's like on top of Beth, and she's like, I can't. I enjoy. What is the? Do you know the line? I don't want to butcher it. It was really good. I liked it.
In here,
and then she like kind of slinks her way down to her stomach and listens. Oh, two souls.
What's next, sweetheart? Let me kiss it. Make it better. Oh, after let's see. Come on. Open the door. Open the door like you open your leg, you stinky groupie slut. I'm not a groupie, you psycho bitch. Okay.
You didn't have to read that out loud.
That was when she was still outside. Let's see.
Yeah,
is Bridget going to come back like mom? I don't know, Cass. Let's see. Ellie waits in hell for you and your unborn bastard baby.
Oh, yeah.
I think she talks about how, I don't have the line here, but she basically talks about, I'm going to devour your soul. And then she pauses and she looks down. She's like, oh, 2 souls?
Yeah. She looks way too excited about that.
And that's when she's like, Ellie waits in hell for you and your unborn bastard baby. Yeah. I'm like, damn, fuck Ellie up, Beth. Fuck her up.
So, who is it? I think Cassie, who was actually not supposed to be playing with the scissors, had hid them under her bed, so that at this moment she's able to find the scissors, throw them to Beth, right?
Yes, and Beth shoved them right up Ellie's nose into her brains. Yeah. And I'm like, that's gross. And then they're running away, and Cassie's like, are you going to be a mom? And Beth is like, yes, and I'm getting us the hell out of here. And Cassie's like, how? And then they went to the elevator, and they're like banging it and trying to figure out how the fuck to get it going. And that's when Ellie took the scissors out of her face.
Yeah.
And then they noticed the keys were in the way. So when Beth was like, oh, no, that's when Beth, Bridget, and Danny started melding together into amalgamation of body parts and heads. And I was just like,
Her dream came true.
I was like, oh, that's what she meant by I'm gonna be inside of you like you're inside your skin. Okay, that seems like an overbearing mother a little bit, a little bit,
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
a little bit. I've heard of controlling your kids, but it seems a bit much.
Yeah, so you see it coming towards the elevator as they're finally able to get it closed. Unfortunately, they are now trapped in the elevator, and it begins to bleed.
Blood fills the elevator, shining style. And they're like, oh my God. And then there's a weight limit on the said elevator. And the elevator falls as it hits the ground of tidal wave of blood. Blood?
Alexa, play Elevator by Stray Kids.
As blood tidal waves through and leaving Beth and Cassie alive.
Yeah.
Covered in blood. And they're in the garage with the wood chipper? Is that wood chipper? Yeah, with the wood chipper. Yeah. And of course, Beth has a shotgun. And when she took the shotgun upstairs, that guy was like, that's my shotgun, you bitch. I'm like, damn, you Deadites are rude. Disrespectful. The camp in this movie is just immaculate.
Yeah.
So they're downstairs trying to get the hell away, and this thing comes down, and they have like a showdown.
They're merged. Oh, into the multi-limb creature known as the Marauder? What? Where are they getting this from?
Oh, wow. The Marauder?
From the Evil Dead Rise needed a human centipede. What is this?
What?
What?
Hold on. Evil Dead Rise needed a human centipede-like suit to create its Act 3 Big Bad.
Oh, Jesus.
That makes sense.
That does make sense. The Marauder.
I will post this little link on our Discord just in case y'all want to read more into it. Anyway, sorry, I'll go back. Paste. Okay. Oh shoot, where was I? Right, so they're in the parking lot and this was they were running around the car. They kept on going in circles around the car until they finally
playing tag.
Yeah, with the freaking thing.
With the demon.
And when in Rome.
So they're where does the chainsaw come from? Oh yeah, the wood chipper. I guess
there's a chainsaw there. Yeah, it's on top of the wood chipper.
Oh no, okay. So they're playing tag with this thing, and they finally are able to get the clicker for the parking garage, to open, and because they were trying to get it while they were in the car, but it wasn't opening. It finally works when they're out of the car. They run and they try to slide underneath, but unfortunately, Cassie is caught by the Deadite thing monstrosity and pulled back into the garage. That's when Beth goes back in, grabs the chainsaw, and starts to cut pieces off, right? And fights with it, and they end up near the wood chipper. Beth is almost pushed into it, but they're able to turn it off and get the the monstrosity in front of it, and then turn it back on, and then shove it down into the the wood chipper and just shred it into nothing.
So when they're killing the thing,
Yeah, go ahead. I know you have the lines.
she finally does get the abomination inside the wood chipper, and Ellie's like, "Please help me, Bethy Boo," and
Only my sister gets to call me that.
yeah, only my sister gets calls me that, and then she cuts off Ellie's head with the chainsaw. And the last line of Ellie before her head gets kicked into the wood chipper is, "You really do look like Mom, and you're going to fail miserably just like her, you stinking, horrible, groupie cunt." And then Beth kicks her into the wood chipper.
On
I'm like,
her ass.
Really feel.
damn. Huh?
Said, tell us how you really feel.
Right? And then there's some line somewhere along the line where Beth calls Ellie like she looks like a tampon or some shit. I don't know. There's a lot going on in this movie. There's so many one-liners.
There was.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're right.
So many good one-liners. "I got to kill the creepy crawlies that are in my tummy. I don't like having things inside my tummy. Do you, Auntie Beth?" That was the line Bridget said when she was eating glass. Yeah.
So with the Deadite having nowhere to go, it kind of floats away for a little bit, but then morning comes, and wouldn't you know it, there is one tenant that slept through this entire movie.
I don't know how you could fucking sleep with people with shotguns going off and people dying and screaming,
body parts getting ripped off. I don't
filling
understand.
up and spewing everywhere.
I have a few words for you. Noise canceling headphones.
Oh my god.
And very strong weed.
We do not endorse anything here.
Unless you're in a legal state and you can legally
Yeah.
So anyways, Jessica, wouldn't you know it, is that tenant. And it turns out she's getting ready to go on a trip with her cousin.
To the lake house.
And somehow she's able to walk through the hallway, down the elevator, get into her car without seeing any of the blood, the body parts, the weapons,
You could see how self-absorbed this girl is.
Uh-huh. And when she does, she goes to the lake to snatch a bitch's wig.
It is shown that she does eventually see the wood chipper. She gets near it, and wouldn't you know it, I guess the Deadite spirit is close enough that he's like, "Oh."
I imagine the Deadite possesses her, and the Deadite is just like, "Ew, I'm gonna go snatch a hoe's wig," and then she drives. And then we get to the beginning of the movie where she snatches a wig. I can't believe first thing I thought of, I was taking notes. Wig snatched. So good. God, so good. So that is the movie, Evil Dead Rise. Bunyip. Symbolism. Grant us with your knowledge.
If you watch the movie, it becomes kind of apparent, but there's a lot of symbolism about motherhood. From the very first, not the very first scene, but one of the earliest scenes is Beth realizing she's pregnant, and you don't even see the results of the pregnancy test. You just see the look in her eyes, just fuck, I got knocked up.
Yeah.
I feel that as a single mom.
And
the theatrical release poster.
Well, that too.
Has also, "Mommy loves you to death" on it.
There's also comparing who is the better mom. Ellie got together with a man. I don't know. Was it announced that they got married?
I think they were married.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's she did it the quote unquote correct way, which is get married and have kids, whereas Beth got to be single and live carefree life, at least in Ellie's eyes.
And I mean, again, where's that man? Where's that
He
man?
is
Ellie?
gone.
You're gonna throw that in someone's face. Where's that man?
Absent.
I think they mentioned that. Well, yeah, they mentioned that he left and shit. So,
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
you talking about the man that knocked what's her face up?
Yeah, it was they never say who the man was that knocked her up. You just assume that she was just having a night of debauchery and fun and got pregnant.
Yeah.
What other symbolism?
Well, the Deadites are aware that Beth is pregnant. They just sense, and there's always allusions to like, oh, you have a child.
You're with a
And,
child.
and of course that line of like, don't like it when you have parasites in your tummy?
Damn.
And then how Beth ends up having to bond with the kids a little bit, especially Casey.
Yeah, the
Like,
youngest.
you would make a good mom. Why is that? Because you're really good at lying.
And lying to kids. Yeah.
Damn.
And then another time, Casey's like, "Are you going to be a mom?" I was like, "Yes, and we're getting the hell out of here." And if you want something more visual, in the elevator, when they all spill out, it looks like a birth because when they all spill out, they're in the fetal position.
Mm-hmm.
When you said that, I was behooved because I was like, oh my God, they thought of everything. If that was not on purpose, my God, they got lucky with that.
That was so on
Otherwise,
purpose. That
it
had
was-
to have been.
It had to have been on purpose because
That's so
it was so meticulously planned out. And it's like, damn, they just birthed.
They were birthed. Yeah. Reborn or whatever.
Damn.
In this fucking madness.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. Although I have to point out at the end, this has nothing to do with the symbolism. It's just, imagine it's like, okay, everyone we know is dead. We get to move somewhere. I'm drenched in blood. You're drenched in blood. I'm carrying a chainsaw. I hope no one notices us. Like, it's gonna look concerning just walking around.
Yeah.
Who's this weird lady dressed in, was it covered in blood? And
Unless they
walking
live
around
in
with a
New
small
York,
child?
then I'm sure it's just a Tuesday.
Damn.
If it's the right kind of city, no one will care.
Yeah.
Everyone would just mind their business. It's like the common rule when you're at a gas station late at night. Do not make eye contact with the crackheads. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, that was pretty much all I had to add. Although near the beginning, the lady who gets her scalp ripped off is reading Wuthering Heights.
Yes, and then her cousin or sister starts reading it off as she's reading it.
Yes. And I don't know much about that book, but apparently there's a lot of violence in it. And one of the lines being read
Yes.
pertains to a scene that's very violent and there's
Yes.
demons in it. So maybe that's a nice tie-in.
Yeah. Oh, I'm most certainly sure that was purposely chosen to be read.
Oh, please go read Wuthering Heights.
I need to.
Please go read that book. It's actually a really good read.
Other than that, I think that's all there is that I could come up with.
Lovely.
Do you want to go any more into like the overall story of Evil Dead franchise, or do you have any more to add about it?
That was pretty much it. That the 3 books spanned over the course of like the franchise as a whole. I really would love to see a sequel. One more film. Just give me one more film when you tie in Ash, the girl from the 2013 movie, and then Ellie and Cassie. Tie all those films together in one nice little bow where they all have to like meet up, or they all hadn't having to cross paths because all 3 books are brought together or some shit. Like I want a tie-in of all 3 of them to end off the series.
Okay,
or
so
start a new thing. Either way.
Here's my question then for you, because you might know the answer to this. Does each book contain one demon, and then the demon spreads itself, or does it just create more demon-like bodies when it infects other people?
I do not know. That would be a question I'll ask my boyfriend because he knows more about the Evil Dead than I do.
Okay, that's the only power related thing that I was curious about.
I do not know if it's just the Deadite as a whole. There's like a group of them, or if there's a particular one in each book. I don't know the specs of that, but I know that the books are all different because the first book, of course, all of them are made out of human skin. So the first book has a face. The second book, oh God, what did the second book look like? Oh shit, sorry, I hit the mic. Let me look up the second book real quick. The 3 books of the Evil Dead series. Because they all look different. So the 3 books. Okay. So Sam Raimi's Evil Dead has a fucked up face, has a weird face on it. The second book is just a book that has stitching all over the front and sides and back of it. Mm-hmm. And then of course the last book is the one that has the teeth and like the veins coming off of where the teeth are. So all 3 books are different, but these are all the 3 books that are talked about in the Army of Darkness series. Because not in the Army of Darkness series, the Army of Darkness movie, because they talk about 3 books of these books in the Army of Darkness. And the idea of the film was the director wanted to be like, I wonder where the 3rd book is. I know where, in this movie. And because he wanted to do something with the 3rd book, because no one ever tackled where the 3rd book is, only the first 2. So he wanted to take on the project of doing the 3rd book. And I'm just hoping, I am really hoping that they make another one. As much money as it made, I really do hope they make another one. Just one more. Give me one more. That's all I ask, Warner Brothers. Just one more. Just one more. And I'll be happy.
So they also did a television series for this called Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Yep.
That ran for 3 seasons.
Yep.
And ended in 2018.
Yep. I have not watched it, so I have no idea what it entails.
And apparently they announced that there's supposed to be an animated revival of it back in 2022.
Oh my God. And a animated revival of the Evil Dead? That's nice. Also, if you want to, for future knowledge, if you want to see where the Evil Dead started, go all the way back to, you could probably look this up on YouTube. It's called Within the Woods. It's the short film that Sam Raimi did with Bruce Campbell. And it's like a 32-minute short film on the proof of concept of the Evil Dead. Anyway, it's what led into the Evil Dead. Nonetheless, this one was great. Can't wait to see more. There better be more. As of right now, as of April 2023, they had talked about how there was a possibility of future films in the franchise every 2 or 3 years if the film is a success, which of course it was. So the director also discussed that he has ideas for future sequels taking place after Evil Dead Rise. So it looks, nothing is said certain that there's going to be a sequel, but most likely there probably will be. But it probably won't happen until after the writer's strike and the actor's strike is done, obviously. So I would say there probably will be another one at some point in the future. Just maybe not in the next year or 2, unfortunately. Unless the writers and the actors get paid the amounts they're supposed to be paid. Otherwise, I would say the next 5 years, we'll probably get another one at some point.
Mm.
But yeah, so rating system 1 out of 5. Titty sucking parasites. What would you
Oh my
rate this movie?
God,
1 out of 5
right.
titty sucking parasites.
Titty sucking parasites.
Titty sucking parasites. God. We'll go down the line. Bunya?
3.5.
3.5 out of 5 titty sucking parasites. Why 3.5?
Well, I did find it entertaining, and it does keep true to Evil Dead's campness.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I guess I was expecting to be a little more frightened, but I didn't really get it.
Mm.
But that's okay. It was entertaining. For some reason, like towards the middle of the movie, I started drifting off.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And I was like, dang it, why am I not maintaining interest? What the hell? And it kind of feels odd to say this, but it's like,
Think it was like a pacing issue, or like for you?
maybe, but everyone has different experiences of the movie.
Yeah.
Like for example, motherhood, big theme. If you are a parent of any kind, you'll probably be more invested. I'm not a parent, so
Mhm.
I wasn't as invested. I didn't even remember the names of the children.
I did.
Yeah. I
Not gonna
didn't.
lie, me as a parent, I didn't even remember the names of the children.
Was I the only one that remembered the names of the kids?
Yes.
Probably, yeah.
I tried to.
guess.
I just recognized them by like their faces. Like, okay, this kid here has that shirt that's dirty that says "Eat the Rich." This kid is into music and played the words from the book, and this kid is younger but weird.
I just remember one of them reminds me of a friend of mine because they look exactly like him. So I was like, oh my god, he looks like oh my god, they look like Zaku. And so like all I saw throughout the movie with this one person was like, oh my god, it's just baby Zaku,
That's funny.
which makes me sad because that character died. And I was
Yeah.
like, Zaku, no,
The most
Zaku!
horrific death.
I was like, no. Like it made
So-
me so sad.
So we got a 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to rate this movie a 5 out of 5 titty sucking parasites. I
Wow.
love this movie so fucking much. I was living in the theater, and I was living again while rewatching this for this podcast because I haven't watched it since the theater screening. So I watched it the day, time of this recording, the day before we recorded, and I was living, cackling, and screaming like a goddamn banshee, and I was enjoying every goddamn minute of this film. The camp vibe, mwah. The comedy, mwah. The horror, I don't know if I would say this is the scariest, because I think the scariest addition to the Evil Dead series was the 2013 movie. I would say this one's not too far behind it though. But this movie was gory, was gross, and then the one-liners were just everything. And it was serving camp, and I was here for it. And I love a good camp. We all know I love a good camp in my horror. So, but yeah, no, 5 out of 5.
Where's your crown?
My crown is in my room, and it's in my room. I have it. I got a camp queen crown.
Oh my god.
Queen of camp.
I got it for his birthday.
Yeah, I have it. It's a camp queen crown.
That is so perfect.
It's the gayest thing, and I was living, and I am living.
I was just like, I got the perfect birthday present for you, Zio. I got
Yep.
it.
Camp.
And then she was like, "Ah," when I got it for him.
So we got a 3.5 and a 5 out of 5.
This shows our
Titty.
different priorities. I look to be frightened, and Zio just looks to be.
I was looking to live. I was looking for living, and I was living. So yes, 5 out of 5 titty sucking parasites.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I don't have a lot of complaints about this movie. I actually really, really enjoyed it. Especially, like whenever we did watch it in theaters. I always enjoy watching movies with other people more. So if we reviewed this whenever it came out, I probably would have given it a 5 because I enjoyed the company I was with. On top of that, so because like we had the same reactions like throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, screaming.
We were like, ah!
Oh my god!
But it wasn't even like scared, like screaming. We were just like,
It was stream like, I can't believe she
living.
said that.
Yeah.
Like anytime we watch a movie together, like that's usually like how we like
House.
the fucking cat, the cat.
The
we
cat
like
meme.
we held on to each other and was
my
like
God.
laughing and screaming and shaking each other because like it was just so much.
This
So-
movie's the same vibe of that, yeah.
It really was.
Titty sucking parasites.
So like I really enjoyed myself watching this movie. The horror factor, like it was kind of there, but then it kind of like it was gory more than
It was gory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like if you're not into the gore, then yeah, I'm pretty sure that the horror factor would like skyrocket for you. But like it was good. It was good. Honestly, watching Talk to Me, like
Oh.
and then going back and watching this, the gore ain't shit. Like the gore ain't shit.
Girl, let me tell
That is
you,
a-
ladies and gents, when we
That
get
is a
when talk
rough show. That was a rough watch, dude.
when Talk to Me hits streaming, we are going to talk about Talk to Me. It's another A24 horror film. Let me tell you, bitch.
Great movie.
Bitch.
Great
Great
movie.
movie.
I already
Okay.
have my rating for that one. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4. There's really not much to complain about, but
Cool.
I like if I was with Zio rewatching it, I probably would have given it a 5 just because the
The
entertainment,
vibes.
the vibes.
The vibes.
Okay, give me a minute. I have a child knocking on my door.
Okay.
Ooh.
I can go now. So
Yep.
I am going to have to give this uh 4.5 out of 5 titty sucking parasites.
4.5. Okay.
Yeah, I won't give it that perfect score, but it was damn near perfect for me. I loved this movie. The camp was, I loved it. The lines, the one-liners, the practical effects is what did it for me. Like I loved the fact that they did practical when they could. You could tell the blood scene in the elevator was absolutely practical. They filled the room with blood, and it's disgusting. The thickness, you could see it. It's gross. Yeah, this movie is absolute gore and kind of just visceral and kind of just weird sometimes, but it's funny and horrifying sometimes, just not scary. It definitely made me scream when I was watching it by myself. So I can only imagine what Zio and Housekeeper were like in the theaters. But I can imagine
cackling.
it would have been absolute madness if I was there.
Yeah.
And I loved it. It was great. So, yes, 4.5 for me because this movie just did it for me. It was something I really enjoyed.
So we got literally a 3.5, a 4, a 4.5, and a 5. So the average of all that together is 4.25. Solid movie.
Okay.
It's solid ass film. Great. See,
What
this
was
is
the final
why,
score?
huh?
What was the final score?
The final score was a 4.5, so the average is a 4.25. Decent score.
Great
Decent score. Now, let me tell y'all, thank God I am not a teacher because I would walk into school one day and be like, you all are titty sucking parasites. And I'm not having your little bullshit today, kiddies. See, thank God I'm not a teacher. I'd be fired instantly. I can't refer to kids in high school, middle school, and elementary as titty sucking parasites. You can't do it. I'd be fired on the spot. Sometimes. Like, thank God I'm not a teacher. But this movie's fabulous. It's on Max currently. Go watch it if you like The Evil Dead or if you like a good horror movie. Honestly, you don't have to know jack shit about the Evil Dead series to watch this movie and enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great. Also, if you're Max, I'm watching you. Max.
No, Zio, stop it.
I'm watching you. I'm still pissed about the other Evil Dead films. But I'll say you'll live. You'll live to see another day. Because you won't get sponsored one day. Actually, you know what? I don't want to get sponsored by Warner Brothers. They're a hot shit show right now anyway.
Please
They
stop.
are. They are a hot shit show right now. No. I'd rather get sponsored by a company that actually gives a shit. So, anyway. Join us next time as we talk about something else because the rest of September is fucked. So we have to come up with new ideas for September. So until then, bye.
Goodbye. Shredded legs.
Titty sucking. Pictures.